Hey everyone. So it's been a long couple of weeks. I know I didn't put anything at all out last week, um, but that was in part due to the fact that I was not allowed to go to my regular job. And for those of you that know me, you know that um, for those of you that know me well, you know that I have to work. If I don't work, I get like lazy, I get depressed, and it sucks. So I didn't feel the motivation to do anything last week, and I'm still trying to recover from that. But we're here in the garden out here today. Um, some of the plants will look a little wilted because the ground is not as established as it has been in the past. Because yesterday I didn't water anything because we were supposed to get some amount of rain, and I thought, you know what, even if it doesn't rain, it'll give the ground a chance to dry out and it'll prevent some root rot. That was my thought. Some of the plants didn't take too kindly to that, and they're showing me about it today. So, going through the garden here, we've got my super chilies. These guys are doing just fantastic. Um, Now that they've reached a certain maturity, I don't know what happened, honestly. I think it may just be the heat overall, because they don't get a lot of sunlight right here. Because if you look straight up, like, and now you're upside down, and then back around here, there's not a lot of sunlight that comes through here because that's the south. So you don't get a lot of direct sunlight. We're in the northern hemisphere, so we get most of our light from the southern direction. Anyway, so these guys are growing up pretty well. They got lots of leaves, they've got lots of good height and everything, so that's doing good. And I've even started to get, like on this guy, I've started to get buds. Lots of my other plants are getting buds, which are a good thing. Because for those of you who don't know, which I've realized people who don't garden don't necessarily know this, where um, you have to forgive the train, it's rude. Where there is a flower, like that one, that is where there's going to be a fruit. That is the fruit of the plant. So that one that I showed you right there, that was going to be, that's where a fruit may end up being if it survives. Just like those here. Those will be peppers soon. These are my serranos, I think. They're growing up pretty nicely. As you can see, I'm actually about where the super chilies were, I think, last time I filmed out here. So they're doing good. My mystery peppers are all but gone. They were doing that well before, and then I, let them die of thirst. This guy's still hanging in though. So hooray. My bell peppers are doing all right. You can see that guy's doing good. My bunch of bell peppers is doing all right. This guy, like, look at that. That's doing good. And you can tell that everything's been growing good around here because all the grass that's growing up in my rows. You know what? I'm going to worry about that some other day. For the most part, get some of this stuff out of the way so you can see the plants better. That one's doing all right. They've got lots of good growth on these guys. That is actually not a pepper plant. That is several of them. This is my other bunch of bells, and you can tell it's growing better. Well, they're growing better because they get more sunlight. Like, it's got sunlight on it now. It's just through a gap in the trees, but still, it's got sunlight now, so it's growing better. And then these guys are bells. Those are my other bells as well. And I've got here my hot Portugals. These are the ones that are actually getting into the super hot category. The stuff that, you know, don't chop this up and then touch your eye kind of stuff. Which some people would probably say that about any pepper, but you know, this can cause actual irritation for something like that. You can see these things are tall. I got that one. Nothing else has made it in the, oh wait, I lied. This isn't that row. I got this little guy in this row as well. He's doing alright. I mean, he's not great, but you know, he's surviving. Probably do better if I pulled more weeds around him and whatever. That guy's one. That guy. See, like I said, they're not fans of me right now. I got a spider on there. I don't want to touch that. This guy's not a fan of me right now. And then this is my exciting plant. And I'll show you why. Make sure there's no spiders in it. Okay, I don't see no spiders. That's why. And if you look back here, there's another one. There's another one. Turn back there. And I think I had another one somewhere. And here, oh, there's one down there. Low hanging fruit. See? That is exciting. I am very excited for that. Like, you can see a lot of the flowers are still dying. They're probably just gonna fall off, I don't know. But I have successfully brought it to fruit, which is a great feeling for me. These I literally took from seed and brought to fruit. No fertilizer. The only pesticide I used was diatomaceous earth, food grade. And that I haven't used in over a month. That was just to chase off kill off a large population, or a large portion of the ant population. Now, these are not weeds. I'll tell you what happened here. These, okay, so this right here was a row. It was a raised row that I had, just like the others. But I didn't have enough of the Portugal starts to plant in this row. So when my compost got filled up with stuff, I laid some compost in there and buried it with that dirt, and there were some sort of squash seed in there, gourd seed of some kind. I think these are going to be either cantaloupe or honeydew, or a combination of the two, just because the seeds didn't break down before I put it in. So it is what it is. My fatali plants over here, these guys are getting big and bushy. Still a little dried up from the heat. They're doing all right. I mean, these guys are, you know, from a much hotter climate than this. And then my wife's grape tomato plant, although she's more or less just let me claim them because I water them every day and I check on them and all of that. These guys are looking very good. We've got all kinds of fruit on here. See? You got flowers and you've got the fruit. So, yeah, just as a little demonstration, I mean, you get the flowers that come and they bloom, and then sometimes they just die. But what they're supposed to do is, from where the pollen sits, the plant actually generates the fruit that you can eat. And it grows out of there. They grow up until they reach their proper size, and then they ripen on the vine. And then let me show you. Those are the grape tomatoes, like I said. We've got a big boy, which I think is supposed to be like a beefsteak. That one is doing good. This one that doesn't have the holes drilled in it is alive and I think in a state of recovery. I don't know. We've got our Roma with its one big tomato on there, but it's still putting out flowers. And then this we actually harvested from earlier this week, as in the last 2 days. These are super sweet cherries. And when tomatoes are ready, see how it's not letting go? They're not quite ready yet. Because I think you're supposed to be able to just pull them straight off. I don't think you're supposed to have to twist them off. You just pull them and they come off easily in your hand. But because the entire plant was moving with the resistance, it's not ready. These are my cucumbers. I've been getting flowers from them. That right there is from the cucumber, not from anything else. So is that. I talked to some people online on Facebook because it's been a long time since I grew cucumbers or anything like that, or zucchini or anything like that. And they informed me in our climate that it is not uncommon at all through these early months to have plants, especially gourds and squash and things like that, to have the plants that flower and then immediately fall off. Because that's what's been going on with these guys too. These guys are older, more established plants. They go through cycles. You know, they'll flower and then the flower will just wilt and fall off and I'll get no fruit. I thought I was doing something wrong. Even though I've been watering regular, they get lots of sunlight and all of that. I thought I was doing something wrong, but no, they just said anything before mid-July just counted as an extra blessing. And anything before that, you know, anything before mid-July, it's just, you know, don't count on it to produce anything. So I'm treating this the same way because it's a winter squash. If anything, it'll be even longer. Even though I have had several flowers on it, and look, it's growing out and everything. So real quick, I'll take you up front. Give me just a second. Okay, out front here with the hot concrete and everything. So you remember the bucket plants? I brought them up here because there's a lot more sunlight. The guy that was doing good is doing great. He's like Superman with the wind at his back, right? This guy, that right there was the pepper plant. He's spent. I watered him today, but I didn't water anything yesterday. And then we've got the up front zucchini. It's not doing great, but it's alive. So let's see if they locked. I don't think I locked the front door. Oh, okay. So, man, it's hot out there. So that's what we got going on here today. Mouse. Mouse. Hi, mouse. Yeah, that's what we got going on here today. Got some good growth going. Got some not so great growth going. There's Spock. And, you know, just making it through. I don't really know what else to give you guys. Move, please. Move, please. But anyway, I hope you all have a good one. God bless.